And we are live. Hello, welcome to the sprints.
Hello.
I'm just quickly trying to message the link everywhere.
I actually love that on Twitter, if you're like on a laptop or whatever, you can schedule tweets because that's like a lifesaver for people.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just mentioned. I'm like, so I'm currently live doing sprints. Try to type as fast as I can. But, oh my God. Excuse me.
You good there, Hope?
Yes. I kept on trying to right click to because I have the link to the the YouTube, and I kept on right clicking it. It was like, no, you're not gonna right click. So I
Oh
couldn't
no.
paste it.
Well,
Oh God.
hopefully it's done now. Fingers crossed anyway.
Yes. Chaos. Done. At least I already have the timer shared, so that is good. Well, just making sure that it actually is properly doing what I want it to do. Because I forgot to set the time. Okay. First 2 minutes of chaos. Okay. Now we can actually start these. But I'm joined with the wonderful Ashley from Ashley's Media Addiction. If you want to
Hello.
introduce yourself.
I am Ashley, which is Ashley's Media Addiction. I have a YouTube channel which is primarily books and movies, kind of hybrid of both. Yeah, I'm like 2 away from my yearly goal on YouTube, so so close.
So if you aren't subscribed, I will probably in the first sprint, uh, like put a link to Ashley's channel in the description because I didn't set up a description, because I wasn't sure who was going to join exactly, and so I'll do that in the first sprint. But hello, Lucinda, and hello, Morgan. You, Morgan, you don't have god powers. That's moderator. That's what we call god powers. I will have to do that in the first sprint. But what is everybody reading?
Well, I am reading something. What was it called? What is this book called? The Rose and the Dagger? The second one that's in my book club one from last month. I'm so good at this. I'm not gonna have a clue. The Renee Ahdieh, The Wrath and the Dawn, book 2. Is it The Rose and the Dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I'm
Thank
reading
you to
that.
Goodreads. Goodreads is the only reason I know that.
I'll get there eventually. Yeah, I'm reading that. I just kind of wanted to continue on straight from the first book. I really liked it. I just was like, it's duology. You know what? I just fancied just reading the second book and basically completing a series back to back. I've not done that in a while. I've just had basically no reading time in the last month. Not last month. Yeah, actually, since about the start of September, I've had like no reading time really. So I've been reading like 5 pages a day. So sprints are definitely going to help, which will be wonderful.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you going to be reading?
I will be reading The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I have the audiobook, so I'll just be probably actually just on my phone playing games while listening. But
That's a that's a sequel, right? Is that book 2? Or
yeah,
that's something new?
it's book 2. Book 2 in the I think the series is just Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't remember. And Morgan, I will give you mod powers in the first sprint if I remember. If not, yell at me. I won't be reading. I'll be journaling and playing games. Still being productive. That's why these are reading / productivity, because some people are doing productivity things. And Lucinda is on the last 18% of Deceiver by Andy Peloquin?
Not a clue.
We'll go with that. The other chunker I've been reading.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So how's your TBR coming so far, Hope? We're about 10 days into the month, so I feel like it's okay to ask you at this point.
It's okay to ask me, but okay. Good and equally good, equally bad.
Okay.
Because equally good because mainly because if you saw my TBR or if you haven't, I'll briefly explain. But I ended up getting a prompt, which was TBR game, where I had to play somebody else's game. And I had Sam from Yarn Reader play her game, which gave me 5 prompts, which is 5 books. So, I've read 3 of the 13 books, but I've also told myself that if I only get 1 of the prompts from Sam's game read, it can count as complete. So in that case, I'm 3 out of 9. So that's why I'm like, it's bad based on I've only read 3 of the 13 books, but good because I've read 3 books for the 9 prompts.
I would say one of Sam's would count because I mean, you only said you're going to play someone else's TBR game, and that's usually like one roll. So I think if you read any one of those 5 books, then you've won. I would say for some.
The one that I read was the mood read prompt too.
Nothing wrong. That's actually perfect though. You're like, I could do this.
Yeah. Technically, 2 of the books were from the mood read prompts, so technically I've only read 1 book from the actual TBR that I set.
I mean,
but hey, mood reads count.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I've been severely slumping.
I think everyone's kind of been slumping like in September. I really wanted to read. I just had no time.
Yeah,
my life was manic in September.
Yeah, September. I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be like, "That's a lot of books," but like, I only read 9 books. But for me, that's slightly slumping.
Like for me, that would be an incredible reading month. But I know for you, that's quite low. Like I love the fact like I've known you that long where I'm like, I kind of know your average. Like I think how much you read, and I think about 15 books. Like as an average, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but generally about 15. So
yeah, and that also is like that. I think I said in my wrap up is like that's the lowest amount of books and pages I've read since 2019.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went back through my stats and I was like, oh. Lucinda says it's book 5 in the series about a demon assassin.
Ooh. What's book 1 called?
Yeah, what is book 1? It's an epic fantasy. Nice.
I like epic fantasy, so that makes me really intrigued.
Yep. Hi, Mac. I will be studying for midterms. Well, hopefully that goes well.
You have got this.
My favorite true crime YouTuber uploaded a new video just now. I'll be watching that in the first sprints. Understandable. We're blaming Year of the Reaper for it. Yeah. For reference, didn't like that book.
Didn't your book club mostly dislike that book?
Only 2 of the 5 of us finished it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm sure like most of you were like, nah, I can't do this.
Yep. The only people that finished it were me and Sam. I gave it 2.5 and Sam gave it 3. And
I mean, 3 is bad. 3 is not bad, but 2.5 is quite low.
Oh, and that was
Like,
being generous. My 2.5 was being generous because there was a plot twist that I liked.
Okay.
So that got like a whole like half star just there.
Not gonna lie, I'm very curious to read it now. Seeing like how you guys all just didn't seem to like it. I'm like, I kind of want to read it.
If you do,
But
have fun.
to be fair, I'm like staring at my TBR right now, being like, I've not read a single one of you.
Oops.
It will happen though. I just need to finish my current book. And then I think all of my TBR books are less than 300 pages. So hopefully that should make things quick. I hope.
And hi, Tori. I'm currently reading Wolf Song by TJ Klune, currently on chapter 12. I really hope you're loving that book.
Isn't that one of your favorites, Hope?
That I spent $50 on a copy of.
That's pricey.
It was a Waterstones exclusive signed edition.
That's still pricey.
It's not my fault that it had to ship like halfway across the globe.
Yeah. I can only imagine how that shipping would have cost. Like,
it was £12.50 for shipping.
Wow.
On a 16, about a 17-pound book. So ended up being about 48, I think, for like Canadian.
That's still a lot.
47.
That's pricey.
Yeah, basically you might as well say like this. It's half of it's the shipping. But what can you do when you want a copy of a book?
I'm so glad I don't have to worry about shipping. So do you know what I am really, really stressing about? You know how the only book I really care about reading right now is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes? Yeah. Watchstones still don't have this book yet.
Yikes.
Where is it? Where is my book? I just want my book.
Yeah.
So badly.
Also, this comment is so true. Hope's justification for most things being expensive for her is because she lives in Canada. I mean, it's not my fault that I usually have to pay like $15 to ship something to my house. Between $15 and $20 is what average for shipping is. Because it's not just I live in Canada, it's that I live in the middle of nowhere in Canada. So it basically, for any international orders, they have to go through a few certain, like it has to go through either, I think, Vancouver or Mississauga, like collection centers. And those either way is a 24-hour drive from my house.
Where's the other one? I've heard of Vancouver. Everyone's heard of Vancouver. The other one, though.
It's basically Toronto.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like technically it's like probably like, I think like 45 minutes from Toronto.
I'm like, I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah, it's like
Toronto, I've heard of Vancouver. Like, I think that's the only places really in Canada I kind of know of. So I know, like, if you say your area, like, if I hear your area mentioned, I'm like, I know someone who lives there. So, like, I sort of recognize it to an extent, but I have no idea where it is.
Yeah, so, like, where I live, it's, like, from it to get from, like, the collection centers to my house costs a lot of money, so they also have to account that amount into the shipping, too.
Ooh.
Like, to get... There was, like, a Canadian-based shop that I wanted to buy, like, I think it was art prints from, to get tracked shipping on literally just, like, I think it was, like, 2 art prints, would have been $12. And then, because I don't trust untracked things, but even then, untracked was still, like, $5.
How?
Yeah. No wonder I'm always saying I'm broke because I spend way too much money on books by buying special editions, but also it's like, even then, shipping is expensive.
Surely you should just get loads of books at once, and then the shipping won't cost as much.
Well, that's what I used to do with Indigo, which is like a Canadian-based bookstore. Think it's kind of like the Canadian equivalent of like Waterstones or Barnes and Noble. But I pay for a membership literally so I can get free shipping on every order.
Like that sounds good though.
Yeah, so it's like I get free shipping and 10% off. So I'm like, I always try to order from there first, and then if they don't have it, then I'll resort to like Amazon. And then if Amazon doesn't have it, I'm screwed. Yeah. We'll probably go for the first sprint here in about 3 minutes, give or take.
Wait, excuse me? Excuse me?
Yep.
What?
It's
And nobody bothers to tell me nothing. What's going on here?
Okay, but I saw that announcement and I was like, I should tell Ashley. But then I was like, she probably already knows.
This is the first I've heard of it.
I can't remember what it's called. The the brothers Hawthorne.
Ooh. I need it.
And then there's another one too, I think. There's like gonna be 2 more, but they're not sequels. I think they're like either companions or prequels. I don't want to read any descriptions because I haven't read any of the books, so I don't risk spoilers.
That's such good news for me because I did not know that. That's just gonna have me so hyped.
I think they come out. One comes out next August, and then the other one's the August after that. I think. Keyword. I think I could be entirely wrong, but Lucinda says it's not showing for click and collect either for the final Gabnet.
They have no copies anywhere.
Damn.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, oh my goodness.
I find it odd as it's a Commonwealth country. Yeah, it is, but like...
Well, Waterstones is having loads of issues. But I've looked in other bookstores as well, and they don't seem to have it in Edinburgh either.
Well...
So it's just like, it's gone. It's just not here.
Is it available through Amazon?
No idea. But I know the Waterstones edition has a bonus story in it.
Oh.
So I kind of want to get it that way, if I can. But if it comes to buying it from another bookstore, I'll do that. But it's just every time I've looked in independent bookstores, they don't have it. I've looked in like other big sort of chainish ones, they don't have it. It's just like, it's just nowhere. Like, it's very confusing why it's just nowhere.
I know they've had like warehouse issues with like things, but
yeah, but like all bookstores.
Yeah,
not
that's I'm like
bookstores.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought it was just a Waterstones issue.
That's why I'm very confused. I'm like, where is it? Like, where is it?
No idea. And oh yeah, I haven't missed any sprints. Yep, we will be going for the first one as soon as this comment, which is I don't either, but the cover is stunning. Which is for the brothers Hawthorne.
I'll need to look at that cover. I'll need to take a look.
We know what Ashley will be doing in the first sprint.
Well, actually, I'll be having pizza because my pizza's still downstairs.
Well, we will start the timer, and I will see everybody in half an hour. Happy reading. And sprint 1 is done. How did everyone do? I know that I read about 3 chapters and then realized I don't remember anything from the first book. So I had to go back and read through the entire chat that I had with a group of people on Discord to see if that jogged my memory on some things.
Does it help?
A little bit. There was just a couple characters that I was like, I don't remember how important you are to the plot. Like you're mentioned in the first 3 chapters. I was like, I can't remember exactly what happened. But reading through the chat, I think I get a little bit more context clues.
I like when books give you a summary of book 1. So like Brandon Sanderson does it in the back of Mistborn. Like he'll be like, "This is what happened in book 1," and you're like, "Thank you." Or is it the start? He does it. He does it somewhere in it anyway. Yeah. At the very back, he's like, "Summary of book 1 and 2," and you're like, "Thank you." Needed that.
Yeah, like I'll need to read that because it's been a year since I read book 2 in that series. Will I get it finished before the end of the year? Who knows? One thing with this is like you are told, like as things are happening, it is recapped, but it's more of like I can't remember exactly. It will talk about an event type thing that happened, but I forget what happened up to that point of that event that you're talking about. Like, how did you end up? But
I need to read Hero of Ages. I'm planning next month, but we'll see.
Well, if you read it next month, I'll read it next month because I need the kick in the butt to read it.
If I can't get into my TBR next month, I'll be reading it in December or January. Probably December because I want to finish this one off before the end of the year, like era, so that next year I can go into era 2. But just consider shorter books.
Yeah. I'm terrified for the Hero of Ages, but I loved the first 2, so I'm like, but if I don't read it soon, I'm gonna have to reread the first 2, which then will end up back at square one.
I've read The Final Empire and The Well of Ascension twice, and I've still not read book 3 yet. So I just keep rereading book 1 and 2. I'm like, I really need to read book 3. I need to see how it ends. I need to do it.
Yeah.
But I already know in November I'm reading The Hating Game.
Yeah, I will be reading that too. Because I'm joining you for that.
It should be. I'm hoping it's going to be a really easy read, though.
Yeah.
It's enemies to lovers, so that makes me think it's going to be a nice, easy read. But also, it's a romance, so I should fly through it.
Yeah. Lucinda says, I think Fairy Loot we're doing a special edition of the X-Hex. Tori, yeah, I know that Tori read that, loved it. And to answer your question, Tori, if you do a bookish box from any of these places, do you have to have the book, or could you just do a box with all the extras? I know that, like, if you're just getting like a special edition, like of how Lucinda mentioned, like Fairy Loot's doing a special edition of the X-Hex, it's just the special edition of the book. But if you go like with the monthly boxes through subscription boxes, I know that some places have like book only, where you'll just get the book, no extras, or they'll have the full box, which will be a book of items. So hopefully that explanation helps. And then Morgan says, if I do read anything during this live, it will be Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Morgan didn't get to read, feeling really crummy. That sucks. Hopefully you feel better.
I read less than a page, but I went from 39% to 40%, so I'm taking that as a victory in itself.
I mean, that is good. To be fair, you
But
were also eating. So.
Yeah, I ate an episode of Seinfeld, and then I had like 1 minute on the timer to read. So.
Tori just finished chapter 13 and got my birthday present, which was a box of pumpkin spice chai tea. Ooh, that sounds delicious.
I love how you're talking about birthday, and I started buying Christmas presents this weekend.
I mean, Christmas isn't that far away, and I don't like to think about that because it's now going to stress me with Christmas presents.
Well, I got myself a present and told my mum that it's from her, and so she paid me back the money. So I'm like, this is my present from you. Money. No, it's because it's something that I know if she saw, she would have bought me. And because it was at Comic-Con, I checked like if they had it online on their stock, and they said that they've only got it for Comic-Con, like Liverpool next month, and then it'll be out of stock till after Christmas. So I was like, I'll just buy it, and then my mum can give me the money back. But it's like this lovely Pokeball that has like a little baby sleeping Bulbasaur in it, and it's like Bulbasaur's environment inside it as well. It looks amazing. Because I was like, I need it. But apparently online it would have cost closer to £90 as well. So I'm like, well, I got considerably cheaper at the same time.
Yeah. And Mac almost got done with one chapter. Gonna stick around for one more sprint, hoping to finish my textbook notes. Then all I have left is to review the PowerPoint slide and do the study guide. Sounds like you're doing pretty good with dealing with your midterm studying.
I miss studying, but I also don't.
Oh no, I hate studying.
Like I miss how life was when I was studying. It was quite easy life, and you were like learning something and it's all fun. But I hated doing like essays and stuff. Very much love-hate relationship with studying.
Yeah. It's like with studying, it's like I don't mind. It's more of like I don't mind doing it, but it's preparing everything that like of like compiling all the information you need to study and then like putting it in the order that makes the most sense. That I'm like, can you just give me everything in one go?
For me, it's more trying to find all the sources online and stuff that you need, and making sure that they're reliable sources, and that takes so much time.
Yeah. Hope has seen my notes, and I enjoy the aspect of making pretty notes, but otherwise it's overwhelming. Yeah, I have seen some of your notes, Mac, and 100 times prettier than anything that I could ever do.
My notes were terrible. But I do want to go back to uni or college next year, so we'll see.
Just want to say, hey, gonna play The Sims and listen to music. Well, hello, Sam. Thank you for even just popping in and saying hey. And the cat's gonna be yelling at us here in about a minute to read again. Because I figured like 10-minute breaks, not too long.
Not too long.
Yeah, I was just like, I always struggle because I'm like, 15 minutes, but then what if the last 4 minutes were just like, I just want to read.
Seems like this one will be reading, so we'll be good. Hopefully I can actually get to where I want to in my book in the next sprint. But probably not, because I'm quite a slow reader. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully I'll understand more of my book. Because, like, I'm enjoying it. Like, I love the characters. Like basically, you might as well say, I only remember my opinions on, like, the two main characters. And that's basically it.
Books?
And I read the first book in April.
That's quite a big gap. I'm okay with, like, Better Fear the Vampire one, because I'm reading, like, every 2 months. Like I'm still keeping it so fresh in my mind. But this series is absolutely massive. So I'm like, God, I'm not taking big massive gaps. I'd be completely lost.
Yeah. And the cat did meow. So we have to read. But I will see everybody in 30 minutes. And the second sprint is done. How did everybody do?
So I read 19 pages.
Nice. I think I got like 2.5 chapters, give or take. I don't know. I don't know how many pages because I'm just listening to the audiobook. So it's kind of, I can go by pages and that's pretty much like how many chapters I read, and that's really it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Tori says, so what I'm liking so far about Wolfsong is that at least when it comes to Ox's mom, they're not keeping her in the dark about the supernatural, unlike a lot of other supernatural books. Yeah, that is one thing I like, is they're not hiding the supernatural elements from absolutely everybody.
I can hear my dog starting to gruff. You okay there, Paul?
Morgan says, I'm gonna lay down. I really don't feel well. Good luck for the rest of the sprints and happy reading, everybody. Morgan's probably long gone, but if she's still here, hopefully you feel better soon.
Feel better soon, Morgan.
And then we have Reese and Clint joining us. Hello.
Hello.
Tori says, I didn't really do any reading during that sprint. I did take care of my doggies, ate an apple, and subscribed to Nikki's new YouTube channel. Yes, they're a kind of friend of mine just started a booktube channel. So I will actually post that, like a link to her channel, in the chat, because you definitely should go check her out. I'm literally just grabbing that link now, but definitely go subscribe to my friend Nikki. I put it in the chat. But yeah. Reese says, I didn't read, but I'm doing homework. Still productive. And then Tori saying hi to Clint, and Clint saying hi to Tori. Lucinda says, I've been watching Bad Girls and doom scrolling, LOL. I need to get the dishwasher done.
You've got this.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been like doom scrolling while listening to my audiobook of just scrolling.
I've been not too bad. Like, I've not been posting as much online like at all these days. I just seem to be living life a little bit more. It's quite nice. Like, it's really good mentally to kind of get away from social media and stuff. It really is.
Yeah, I feel like there's sometimes that when I need to take a step back from online, but then I never do because I always struggle, so then I just don't take a step back.
You can always reduce the amount of time you have, though. So if you notice that you're using like 8 hours, then reduce it to like 6 or something. Give yourself a bit more like time away from it without all the way out of it.
Yeah, that's what I have to do. I need to just limit my screen time in general. But then that's difficult when a lot of the times I'm like reading a book on like the Kindle app of my phone.
Yeah.
Because then I'd have to limit my reading, which isn't fun.
Do you not have a Kindle?
No.
I never used to have a Kindle, and then I was getting so distracted on my phone because like I'd see notifications come up, and it'd be so easy for me to be like, "But what's this?"
Yeah.
And then my Kindle is like so much better because I don't have that same. Here's all the notifications. It's like at the end of like a chapter or something, I might take a look if I'm like expecting a text from someone. Otherwise, I'm like, I'll just read. It can be seen till later.
Yeah. I know that I want to get a Kindle, but I also borrow a lot of books from like my library, and there's no way to read library books on a Kindle. So I then still, for about half the books I read.
I know some Kindle things you can get different apps, like library apps and stuff on, but I don't know which ones they are. So I just use the normal Kindle. I think I use like a Kindle Paperwhite or something. I have no idea. Use something Kindle.
Mm.
But I think they have one that you can get different apps and stuff on that you can do that with.
I'll have to look into that.
I don't know what kind of Kindle do I have. I don't break my Kindle. Is it going to tell me, Andrew?
Is it gonna tell you?
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's going to tell me. Maybe it's in my settings which one I have.
Well, Clint says I'm laying in bed with Sterling and both of us are reading with Big Bang Theory on the TV. If I had a TV going and I was trying to read, I would just be watching the TV.
That would be like me to be honest.
Yeah, Lucinda says, I don't want to miss important news or Fairy Loot Special Edition notifications. That's a mood. I always feel like I miss notifications. Clint started Nothing More to Tell by Karen Emma McManus. Ooh, you'll have to let me know your thoughts on that when you finish it.
Apparently mine is just a Kindle 10th generation. I think mine is just full on Kindle. Nothing much else, just a full on Kindle.
Remember Monday Crescent City Special Editions. I thought that was the 17th. Thought it was next Monday. Let me look. I have the tweet saved. Because now I'm like, oh, do I have to get up early tomorrow?
I love how we're talking about notifications and my phone's going absolutely crazy right now because I was at Comic-Con yesterday with my friend Rachel and she like took a whole bunch of photos of me like on her phone. So I got some of them yesterday and I texted her earlier and was like, oh, when you have a chance, you're able to send me the other photos. And all I can see is the top of my screen because I'm like using my phone on for the camera, and all I can see is new photo, new photo, new photo, new photo, and I'm like so scared that like StreamYard is going to crash. So I'm just getting 100 different photos sent out right now.
Oh, no.
Every 1 second it's like new photo, and then it goes away, and it's like new photo, and then it goes away. It's like new photo, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, that happens almost all the time when I'm filming because I film with my phone. I end up having to cut out multiple times of me going, when are the notifications gonna stop?
It's literally not stopping, but I don't know how many photos there were either. So I'm like, I don't have a clue when these are going to end.
Yeah. Max says, I'm in the middle of another chapter, hoping to finish this, but I do have to get ready because I'm going to the movies tonight. Ooh, what movie are you going to be seeing?
Does you mind?
Clint says, I want to get an iPad. I miss my iPad. I used to always read on my iPad, but then my iPad just broke. Wouldn't charge. Reese says, I've been wanting to get a Kindle so I don't get distracted, but knowing me, I would get distracted. Fair.
I like going to bed with my phone at the opposite end of the room from me. So I have my Kindle on my bed so I can read, but then I have my phone at the other end of the room, and I actually sleep so much better because I'm not constantly looking at my phone, the notifications and scrolling, and
Yeah.
you get it.
That's something I need to do, but then I'm always like, but it needs to be within arm's reach of me. So
See, I like having the other end of the room. I used to really panic and be like, what if someone needs me like right away? And I'm like, actually, you can wait till morning. Like, I need to sleep. Or
that's
I'm
where
just
the cat's about to go off, but we have so many comments, so I'm just like, we'll catch up on the comments, then start the cat again. Apparently 10 minutes is not enough for us. But Tori says, I've already read 2 books this month, and Wolfsong is my 3rd. Nice. Max says, I love Karen M. McManus. Haven't read Nothing More to Tell, though. Next Monday, yeah. Yeah, I double checked because I was like, oh god, do I have to get up at like 5 a.m. tomorrow? Because like when the Fairy Loot special editions come on sale, they happen at 6 a.m. for me. Because they go on sale at 1 p.m. like BST, and it's I'm 7 hours like different, so it's 6 a.m.
Also, my phone's still going off.
Wow. I want to do a video on McManus books. I'm liking it so far. Ooh, that's good. I know that Katie from Kit Kats Can Read is currently reading it and enjoying it as well, so that must mean it's a good book.
Are those books all like a series, or are they all like companion novels? I've always been curious about that.
I know that One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next is a series, but I think all the other books are just like standalones. I think. The only Karen M. McManus book I've read is One of Us is Lying, solely so that I could watch the TV show that came out last year.
I'm really interested in those books, but like, I don't want to be starting another massive series when I'm already in the middle of so many series.
That's fair. But I do think One of Us is like the One of Us is Lying series. I think is only 2 books, but the other books might be connected somehow. I have no idea. Now I'm like curious. I'm like, I will be looking that up at some point. Tori says, because I listen to audiobooks, I'm normally wearing headphones. My phone has yelled at me twice for too much headphone usage. LOL. Yikes.
I hate when it turns itself down. I'm like, I didn't turn you down. Back up you go. Yeah. Like to protect your eardrums. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Volume up.
Literally every time on my one of my old phones, anytime you'd put it above like a certain level, it would have to send a notification. I'm always like, can I just disable that, please?
Always a way. They always do it.
Yeah. I feel like I've been awake for 2 days. I've been up since 6 a.m.-ish my time. Don't think I fell asleep till 2 a.m. last night. Yikes. Well, hopefully tonight you'll be able to get a good night's sleep.
Got there.
We are going to see the Smile movie. It's supposed to be really scary. I've heard good things about that movie. So.
I've not heard anything about it. I've heard it's very jump scares.
I can't remember if I've seen a couple things online of being like, it's a good movie, but like not in detail, just like, oh, it's a good movie. So
I'm debating seeing it this week. Or seeing one of no, Don't Worry Darling. If that's still on cinema, I might see that. So I'm kind of deciding between the two of them.
One of Us is Lying is the series, the rest are standalones. And there'll be a 3rd One of Us is Lying book coming out next year. Okay. Didn't know there was going to be a 3rd book. I knew there was the 2. So, that is good to know.
I always thought they were like a series or companion novels because they all basically have the same cover.
I think it's just like more of like aesthetic of like keeping the author's books looking similar.
That's why I thought it was just the same thing. So I was like, but they all look the exact same. And usually they do it with series. They'll keep the series like very similar in the looks. until it
Yeah.
gets to about halfway through, and then they'll change them completely because they hate people.
That's always how it goes. But we're caught up with the comments, so I'm going to share the screen and we will do another sprint.
Woohoo!
I will see everybody in half an hour. Happy reading. Wow, my throat there was just like, nope, I can't speak. How did everybody do? Tori finished chapter 13. Nice. I think I got like 2.5 chapters done, give or take. I'm now up to chapter 10. So
I read 22 pages.
nice. So you definitely passed your goal.
I'm on page 204, so just passed. Lovely.
Which is nice. Lucinda has done her chores and skin. So, and I can't speak. Back to the beginning of that sentence. I have done my chores and did my skincare, so now I can actually relax and maybe read. Nice. LOL, when the cat timer went off, my dog jumped, and I think is now looking for the cat.
Yeah.
Understandable. I've been sent at least 5 arcs this week, most with short notice. I really need to get to. Hopefully I'll be able to get all of the arcs read before the review date. I know that I suck with doing that. We're not going to talk about how many arcs I have that I haven't read.
Same. I'm hoping next month there's a couple books I'd love to get in to my TBR. I want to try and get through more sequels next month if I can, so I'm going to try and get them. But failing that, I'm going to try and get mostly NetGalley books that are on my Kindle because I do need to actually read some of them.
Yeah, I know that I have a art that I was going to start, but it's like it's formatted weirdly that no matter like how it's you know how typically books should be like it's formatted so weird. Like I don't know if you can see that, but like
No,
it
right.
it's so bright. But like it's formatted so it's all down the middle.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I can't read that. Thankfully, the book comes out on the 20th, but the arcs, like the reviews aren't due until the 27th. So hopefully I'll be able to get the finished copy, like read the finished copy, because I think it'll be on Kindle Unlimited. And then send it off. And if there's that issue with the finished copy, I'll then probably have to like email the author and be like, hey, so I can't read it because that format, like I tried and I was like, this is annoying.
Fair enough. I don't mind that kind of format. It's not my favorite, but like I don't mind it.
Well, it's just that
I think it's because that's the way I kind of type when I'm working. It's more that sort of format, so I don't mind it as much.
yeah, but
normal book would kind of annoy me.
Yeah, personally for that, I tried to read it, but I kept on, because of the way it was formatted, I kept on like being like, maybe if I change this thing, it might work. And then like it kept on distracting me, and I'm like, I will just be playing with the settings the entire time I'm reading this book and not comprehend anything I'm reading. Like I read like the first chapter, I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in the first chapter.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I think that's going to have to be my last sprint, to be honest, because I'm struggling and I need to walk my dog, and it's like 10:30. So I think that was going to be my last sprint. I'm sorry.
I totally understand that. To be fair, I was going to make the next sprint the last one anyways, so.
We're only going to do one more. I can do one more. But.
Are you sure? Because you don't. If you want to go, you entirely can.
I can do one more. I just can't do anything more than that.
Okay,
If you were
because
going
I
to
was
stay
like,
on for a while, then I would have left. But that's one more.
yeah, because I'm just like, my brain is starting to like stop processing words that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, that was just 11, and then by the time I walk my dog and get back home, I can get in bed by midnight, which is kind of my goal. So I should be able to do one more. Which is okay.
okay. I'm on 10-hour shift tomorrow, and then the day after that, so it may be a struggle. Ooh.
Not fun.
These are all indie. My current read is also an indie arc.
I love that they're indie.
Yeah, I struggle with NetGalley arcs, but I don't struggle as much with indie arcs, and it's mainly because you can have a more like. I say that as I can think of 2 indie arcs that I have not read.
I have a couple
But I
on my
have,
shelf.
but I have at least emailed the author while the author's personal assistant said like, "Hey, I'm not gonna get these read. Can you just remove me from the arc team until I catch up?"
That's fair. I'm just
like,
kind of like, there's a book that I really want to read that I was sent. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I do plan to. But I feel like it's one of those ones where I'm going to have to be in the mood for it because it's like this one. I love the cover of. But it's like different stories, but like all in the same world sort of thing. So I think it's going to be one that's kind of I need to take my time a bit more for. But it's like basically like these gods are killing people, and it's like the stories of those people before they get killed by the gods, from what I believe. So it's like so it's like an anthology, but all linked together.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But I love the cover. I do need to read it. I do want to read it. It's just I don't want to kind of like push myself to read it if I'm not fancying it because I don't feel like then I'd enjoy it as much. But
Understandable. Oh, in reference to the first book in that series that Lucinda's reading, is the first book is called Assassin Darkblade, book 1 by Andy Peloquin. I think that's how I said it the first time. Yeah. Realize I didn't post it. I will definitely have to look into that because I'm always wanting more. Even though I'm like slowly in a little bit of like a fantasy slump of like I only want to continue series that are fantasy, not start new ones. But like whenever I'm in the mood for like high fantasy, always need recommendations.
I feel like I just want to complete some series or at least continue with series. I feel like I've got, well, not as many as some people, but I do have, for me, quite a few series kind of already started, and I'd like to start some new ones. But I kind of want to finish up some first, so I'm not just constantly needing the sequels for stuff.
Not me constantly starting series, not finishing them, and then it's like that's what I always do.
I'm one of those people that if it's been a while, I won't remember what's happened, so I have to start it again. So I don't want that with all of my series. So I'm trying to catch up on at least 3 or 4 before the end of the year. I'd like, or at least read the next one in it. Like I want to read I Heart London next month if I can. I want to continue on the I Heart series. And then there's I Heart Christmas, so I'd love to read that in December. And then I've got to read the Final Gambit. I'm desperate to read that. As soon as I get my hands on it, it's the first book that's been read. I want to finish off the Scooby Apocalypse novels. I want to continue on with the Rivers of London series. I need to continue on with the Vampire Chronicles series. I want to finish off the Mistborn Era 1 series. I want to continue with the I Heart series. I want to finish off the ones in want some future duology because I've not got other books. I want to get
So
that one.
just like everything you have started, basically.
I'm like, geez,
Also, the cat
I
did
want
meow, so I'm just
to
quickly gonna read the last two
continue
comments.
on the Dragon Rider series. I need to continue on with the um, Shadow Hunter series. It's literally getting out of hand. I'm like, right, I need to actually read some of these.
Yeah. This overtime is paying for the Crescent City special editions, though. Smart and cool. I have to start making dinner, so one more is cool with me. Okay, well, I will share the timer because it did meow. Quickly put the last sprint banner, and I will see everybody at the end of the final sprint in, well, now it's about 29 minutes. And that was the end of the final sprint. How did everybody do?
I read 20 pages. So
Nice.
I'm actually really glad because I was just finishing that chapter and being like, I can't read anymore. And I was like so glad it was like 1 minute before the end of the sprint. I was
You're just like, thank you.
like, genuinely just like, I'm going to fall asleep. Like, thank you.
Well, how did everybody in the chat do? I'm trying to figure out how much I read. Because
Does your audiobook not tell you what percent of the way through the book you are?
I can check. Because like
I know
on
some
Scribd,
do
when
and
you're just like Scribd, when you're just on like the reading page, it doesn't tell you. It just says like you're on chapter, like what chapter you're on. But maybe if I go into like the titles I've saved, it might then tell me. Well, that doesn't help. Maybe if I go to the Scribd app on my phone, because it's just saying that I have 6 hours left. 28% in.
That's not bad.
That's not bad for starting it at the beginning of these sprints.
Over a quarter of the way in, though, that's really good.
Yeah, and I probably will listen to a little bit more like later. Like I'm like towards the beginning of a chapter, so I might like finish the chapter and then like take a break and then read more later because it's only 4:00 here. So
Oh yeah, I forgot this so word for you.
yeah,
I'm like, I need to just full on
you're
crash.
just
I need to
yeah,
walk
you're
the
just like
dog and then.
Yeah.
I think I'm more tired than I am during 24-hour sprints. Like, I'm really tired.
Yeah, we had Katie show up at the beginning of that sprint.
Okay.
And she was going to be editing some videos. Lucinda read 3%. Nice.
That reminded me that I have no video for tomorrow. I know it should be.
Oops.
I've just not filmed it. So, we'll see if that goes up tomorrow or not. We'll see how I am tomorrow. But
Fair.
I need to do that.
Chapter 14 made me laugh so hard, and I started chapter 15 as well as started cooking dinner. I'm trying to remember what chapter 14 of Wolfsong is, but I can't remember, so I'm like, why are we laughing? And Katie did edit a bit of a video.
Yay! Well done, Katie.
Yeah, but I think we're going to end this here before Ashley just entirely passes out on live.
Yeah, I'm a bit sleepy.
Just until it's like 3, 2, 1, just
completely just drifting off.
Yeah, but
hopefully next time I'll be more awake.
Hopefully.
I can't be more tired, surely.
Oh, I was gonna say he wanted to say goodbye to everybody.
Night all.
But yeah, night to everyone for now. But thank you to everybody who joined in the comments, and thank you so much to Ashley for joining me, even though you were tired the entire time.
I've been tired. Yesterday was just a lot. Like, hopefully getting a good 8 hours sleep tonight or something will really help you out.
I just love Katie's comment. Ashley's tired? Oh, what?
I know, right?
Shocker.
You would never guess that I'm tired.
No, definitely not. But again, thank you to everybody for watching, and bye!
Bye, guys.